Hello and welcome, I'm Tim and this is SV Paquita. And as you can see, not only is it low tide, not only are we at the harbor of Monhegan Island, but we've moved from our anchorage out by Niduck. And yesterday it was so sweet while we were getting beat up out there, two different people from the island said, Tim, come stay on our mooring. And I was like, you know what? We're kind of used to this, and we were kind of happy watching the World Cup. Yay, Spain! Usually whoever I root for usually doesn't do very well, but Spain did wonderfully. Anyway, so one of my friends, Chris, you may have seen him a couple of years ago. We were here, and he actually showed us the power station over here and all that sort of stuff. He has a lobster boat here, and he and his girl went inland, and last night they came and said, hey, go on my mooring. I said, all right, I'll probably go in the morning. So we're gonna be here till tomorrow morning, then we'll leave. Just gonna sit here. But this is a great opportunity for me to show people what I was talking about. Apparently when I was talking about a trip line on the anchor, not everyone knew what I was talking about. And the same thing about when we were in the when we were moored. It's very often you pick up a line like this or somebody's chain. So if you're hooked on the bottom, or in this case, see how I'm on the mooring. This is the mooring line right here. And so it looks like the anchor has caught the line. This could represent a rock down below, or it could represent somebody's anchor chain if you ever get tangled up. And everyone wants to lift the chain over the top of the anchor, but they're both under load, and all that's going to do is really hurt somebody, if not get somebody killed, so that's really bad. So what we do is we put a trip line on it. In this case, you can see that little silver thing in the back. Let me pull the line here. Good. There we go. See that right there? So I have that hook there. If you're pulled up an anchor and you've got some of these things, you could just tie it to anywhere on the anchor that's going to make it trip. So let me show you what you do. You get it like that. You pull it tight. I'm going to actually lift this up a little bit more. There we go. And then all you do is take the line and we'll just make it off to a cleat. You don't even have to pull. You're not going to put your back out or anything like that. Just going to make it off to a cleat. Now look what happens when we release the line, when we release the chain. So the chain goes down, the anchor flips around, and look at that. See how the anchor drops? So if you were on a rock, that's how it would go. Hopefully that makes sense. A few of you said that you didn't understand what I was saying when I said that I hooked up a trip line. Morning! So that's how that works. Anyway, I have some more stuff coming for you later on. You know what? Maybe I'll even do that today. Do you guys want to see how we use a Loosegauge? This is probably while we're at mooring here and it's not windy. We've already set up all the sails and all that, so this might be a good time to pull out the Loosegauge, and I'll show you how we tune the rig. Stand by. Okay, so before I tell you everything I know about a Loosegauge and how to tune your rig, take a moment and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Everyone always tells me I should do that. I always do that at the end, and everyone says it works better if you do it. Anyway, if you are liked and subscribed, thank you so much, or especially subscribed. I really appreciate that. If you're not, take a moment and do it. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you're watching on TV, then, sometime turn on your phone and see if you can just do it once. That'd be great. Anyway, so the first thing you should do is, well, wait a minute, let me back up and say this is a Loosegauge. It's called a Loosegauge, and this is actually the number 3, I believe. Yeah, PT3 is this model. And so there are 2 other ones, and if you notice, I'll show you this in more detail when we get out on deck. But these are gauges right here for 1/4 inch, 9/32, 5/16, and 3/8 inch wire, and that's going to be important later on. Then what you need to do, sorry about rolling the camera around, but I'm trying to do this one-handed. Any boat worth its salt, this is just printed off. I also have this in a booklet form too. We'll have all the schematics and wiring diagrams, plumbing diagrams, everything for a boat, including over here. This is very important. It says, oh, that's temperatures above 80. Well, anyway, it doesn't really matter. But this will give you all of the upper intermediates, aft lowers, forward lowers, check stays, back stays, and it shows you what the size of the wire that you're looking for and the number. So for instance, and this is for if it's above 80 degrees. I have one somewhere over here. It says 50 to 80 degrees. I think I just yeah, here we go. 50 to 80 degrees. So that's where we are right now. So I come over here. These are different Island Packet models. 420. These all have the same rig, the 420, the 44, and the 45. So the uppers, we come down, it should be, we got to use the gauge PT3, which is what we have. And then it'll say the wire size is going to be 3/8, and we need to bring it to the scale of 40. Now, that goes all the way down and shows you all that stuff. What I've done, because I don't plan on doing other people's boat, is I've written IP 420, 50 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and then on the back I have all the numbers that I need, so it's always there. So once again, let me try to do this with one hand. Sorry about moving the camera around, but this is what happens. So if we were to start with this right here, which is going to be check stays. Wait a minute. I think we start up there. Uppers, intermediates, aft, lowers. Uppers, intermediates, aft, lowers. There we go. All right. Let's go to the upper. Let's just do that one because that one's going to be fun to do. All right. So if we go to the uppers, says it's 3/8. So if we look over here, remember I told you that there's a gauge right here. If you put this on 3/8, you can see that's a little sloppy, but that fits in perfectly right there. So that's the one that we want. Then what you do is you get the gauge and you put it like this. Oh, I can't do this with one hand. I'm gonna put I'm sorry about this, guys. I'm gonna put the phone down for a second, and I'm gonna pull the spring over. Okay, so what you didn't see me do, sorry about that, I'm sorry. So what you didn't see me do was I put this here, and you see that little bend that it makes a little there, and it puts it over, and look, it's right at 40. So that's exactly where we want it. That didn't move at all. And you see this is on a spring, so you can move this back and forth. And that's how that works. Then when you take this off, you go like this. I can make sure I don't drop it in the water. That would be awful. And then we can go to another one. Let's see if I can do this with one hand now. It's probably going to go flying, take my teeth out. Shouldn't do this like this. Oh, you know, you see, can't do this with one hand. But anyway, you get the idea. That's how it works. Oh, I can hear all the comments. Everyone saying, stop moving the camera so much. Dude, I'm doing the best I can. I should probably have you know what? I should probably have a tripod out. You're absolutely right. That's what I should have done. Anyway, if you look over here and say, what does 40 on the scale mean? See this 40 over here? So if you go to 40 and you come over to 3/8, that means that it's tension to 1,900 pounds, and that's 11% of the load. So that's what it tells you. Kind of cool. Anyway, these things aren't cheap. I think this one is, I think you can buy it for $399. And crazy money. The other ones, the Loosegauge 1 and 2, are for, you know, like I said, don't just go out and get this. You're going to need to know what size Loosegauge your boat fits. And if you don't have the documentation of what the tension is for your different stays, I think you might be able to get that at something like boatdata.com or something like that. But if you can't find it, a rigger will give it to you, or at least the manufacturers or owners association or something like that. But you want to write all that stuff down, and also write down the temperature, and then have one of these. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the camera around, and since we've sailed, remember I tuned this in Virginia, and since we've sailed up here since then, I'm going to go around and just make sure everything's ship shape and Bristol fashion. And your Spanish word of the day is pato. Pato is duck. It's a fun, P-A-T-O, pato. fun Spanish word to learn. Anyway, that's the Loosegauge. Chrysalida continues to do her, she's the perfectionist, always at work here. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you learned something from whether it be the how to trip an anchor or use a trip line on an anchor. And remember, if you don't have an anchor, if you don't have a trip line set on it, most of us get our anchor stuck before we put the trip line on. If you haul it up and you can get to it like you would if you were med mooring, and you say, well, we're not in the Mediterranean. Yeah, there's still sometimes somebody, some idiot with a credit card might have bought a boat and set right over the top of your anchor, and there, when you haul your anchor up, you pull their chain up, and this is a way to get out of that. And so hopefully that works for you. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe. You can buy us a beer at the brewery right here. I'll be bringing you a video of that sometime too. Smash that super thanks button if you want to buy us around at the brewery, or you can join Patreon, and I'll put a link in the description, and also a link for any merch if you guys want to buy merch. I think I've been getting messages from people that have bought merch and they're really, really happy with the stuff they got. So hopefully it'll be you too. You guys take care, be safe, and as always, I'll see you on the one.